Hi guys, good morning. Let me share my screen. Today what we need to discuss. Yes. Oh, filter functions. In filter functions we discussed calculate, right? We discussed calculate, right? And all we discussed. Okay. So we discussed the calculate function. Okay. And next one is all function. In filter functions, the first function we discussed as calculate. Okay. Okay. Next one is all function. See, all filter functions you have to apply inside calculate function only. Inside calculate function only, all the functions are applied. Understand clear? Now, see here. We already discussed the calculate function, how it will be there. First, what you need to write inside the calculate function? What is the first parameter in calculate function? Aggregation functions must and should you need to write, comma. After that, you can write any filter function inside the calculate. Okay. Okay. So the first function is all. What is all function? Very, very important. Listen carefully. Okay. What is all function will do? In all function, either you can pass table name or you can pass column names. In all function, either you can pass table name or you can pass column names. Okay. Whichever columns you pass inside the all function, those columns, if you try to filter the values in the visualization, it will clear the filters. That means without filtering what values are there, same value after filtering also it will show. Actually, what is the default behavior of Power BI? Whenever you select any particular value in any visualization, automatically other visuals also filter. That is the behavior. Okay. See here. Suppose, for example, see here, if I'm selecting France, did you see France related one? Here also France related. Other visuals also, whichever value I'm filtering, that related one. Suppose if I'm selecting Germany here, Germany related one, it will show here. Understand? Understand or not? Other visuals are whenever you filter any visualization, automatically other visuals are filtered. That is the default behavior of Power BI. Suppose, for example, sometimes I don't want to change the value when we are filtering. That means before filtering what value is there, after filtering also same value I need to see. You understand or not? Before filtering, what value shows in the visualization, same value after filtering also same value we need to understand. Suppose, for example, we are getting a marks. Okay. Okay. But total marks is not changed when you are changing the student, right? Suppose I'm changing the ex student. He is getting intermediate 800. What is the total marks? What is the total marks in intermediate? 1000, right? Actually, total marks is 1000. But what he is getting, that related one, it will be there. Okay. That means he is getting 800 means. Okay. 800 divided by 100 into 100, that means 80% is he is getting. Suppose if I'm selecting Y student getting a marks in intermediate is 700. What is the total marks? What is the total marks? What is the total marks? 1000. It is fixed. That means when you change the student, is the total marks is changed? No, it is a fixed one. So in that case, that means whenever you are without filtering what value is there, after filtering also, I need to show the same value. It is a fixed one. If you want to fix any particular value, okay, at that point of time, you have to use all function. Okay. When you write all function, inside all function, either you can pass table name or you can pass multiple columns in the table. Whichever columns you pass inside the all function, if those columns, if you try to filter it, those columns, if you try to filter in the visualization, okay, it will clear the filter. Understand clearly? No? If it is clear the filter, what will happen? Total value only it will consider. As per as per visualization, it is filtering, but inside the Power BI memory, it will clear the filter whatever your filter. So that's the reason every time it will show the overall value only. Understand or not? Let's see with example. Here. See, always we need to create all function inside the calculate. So you have to create it in new measure only. Understand or not? Now see here, all, okay, calculate. What is that one? You have all filter functions you have to write inside the calculate function only. In calculate, what is the first expression? What is the expression we need to write? I told you this point. Huh? Aggregation. Don't forget it. In any scenario, inside the calculation, first aggregation. Any aggregation. Understand or not? Only aggregation. Okay. Sum of financial. Understand clearly? Huh? See here. Suppose, for example, sum of financial sales. Okay. Now, what will happen? Here, I'm writing first aggregation function. After that, put comma, and you can write any filter function here. Any filter function. Like all other functions are there, one by one we need. First one is all. Okay. All, in all function, either I told you, right, either table name or multiple columns you can pass. Suppose I'm con- passing country column. Only single column I'm passing. If you want, you can pass multiple columns. If you want, you can pass table name also. Okay. See here. Now I'm passing here. What is the meaning of this one? If this country column, if you try to filter it, okay, this total sales value cannot be changed. Understand or not? That means like before filtering what value is there, after filtering also total sales only it will shows. Because all function will clear the filters for this particular call. Understand clear? Let's see. Execute this one. Is that clear? See here, this is the total value. Understand or not? Now, suppose I'm trying to filter this one. See here, I'm passing in this visualization. This is a slicer visualization. In this visualization, what I'm using, whichever column I'm using in all function, the same column I'm trying to filter in the visualization. See here. Did you see? Is that value is changed here? Did you see? Is that value is changed here? See, suppose if I'm not filtering anything, what value it will choose? This is the value, right? After any country value, if you try to filter it, same value or not? Same value or not? That is the one. Suppose in any scenario, if you try to fix, that means if you try to fix the value, that means before filtering what value it is there, after filtering also same value if you want to show. Okay, then must and should you have to use all function. Okay, suppose for example, I'm passing another slicer one. Okay, what is that one is like I'm giving a product here. Okay, suppose if I'm trying to filter product, is this value is changed or not changed? You understand my question or not? Suppose if I'm trying to filter the product values, is this value is changed or not changed? Changed. Why? Because in all function, we can pass only country column, not product column, right? So that's the reason if I try to filter it, did you see value is changing or not? Why it is changing? Because I'm not mentioning this product column inside the all function. Suppose if you mention inside this all function, even if you pass like, see here, if you want multiple columns, if you want to pass means after passing one column, put comma, another column. Shall understand clear? Now what will happen? Either you can filter country or you can filter product value. The value cannot be changed. See here, is this value changed? Understand clearly enough. This is about all function. Very, 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 very important. Anyone having any doubts in this one? Anyone having any doubts? Alim. Why on Saturday? No one is joining workshop. Huh? You didn't have a time. Huh? Very less people are joining. Yeah. Understand clearly or not? Any doubts in this one? Next one is all cross filter. You can pass the in all function. You can pass the table name also. If you pass the table name, what is the meaning of this one? If you pass the table name, suppose I'm passing a table name here. Financial. I'm passing only table name, one table name only. If you pass the table name, what is the meaning of this one? What is the meaning of the table name? See, what behavior for passing a column name? Same behavior for table name also. What is the meaning of this one? In that table, what are all the columns are there? If any of the column, if you try to filter it, value cannot be changed. It always shows the total value. That means when you pass a table name, all the columns in the table, what are all the columns are there? Any of the column, if you try to filter it, value cannot be changed. That is the meaning here. Understand clearly or not? Next one is all cross filter. All function and all cross filter both are same. What is the difference between that one? In all cross filter, only we can pass a table name. See, whatever I'm explaining, all function, same thing, all cross filter is. But in all cross filter, what is the difference between all and all cross filter? In all cross filter, we can pass only table name. But in all function, we can pass table name or column names, right? That is the difference. That's it. Understand? You can try this one. Again, in new measure only. All cross calculate sum of financial. All cross filter. See, what is that one? In all cross filter, only table name you can pass. You cannot pass the column names here. Understand? Only table name. Just see here. Now, if you pass the table name in all function, all cross filter and all function both are same. That means in this table, what are all the columns are there? Okay. Value cannot be changed. It will shows the total value of that particular column. Clear. Even if I'm trying to filter this particular column, is this value changed? If you try to filter this column, this value is changed. No. In the table, what columns are there? All the columns are value cannot be changed into that one. Understand clearly not? Any doubts in this one? Huh? Okay. Next one. What is the next one? All except. What is all except function? Well, very, very important. These three only very important functions. Understand? They will ask in entry point of time also these three functions. All except. What is all except? I think I didn't share the document, right? Huh? Today 100% I will share. Today 100%. Okay. 100% I will share that one. Maybe some students are pinging in the Telegram group also. Okay. Thanks for remembering. But yesterday I'm little bit busy. Okay. So that's the reason I'm not able to share that one. Okay. Today 100% I will share the document. Understand clearly? Next one is all except. What is all except function will do? See, what is that one? Again, in the new measure only. Again, inside the calculate function only, we can use all except. See, here any name you can give, but I'm giving a function name because for identification purpose. Okay. Calculate sum of. Okay. Now, after that, all except. I will tell you. First syntax. What is the syntax here? Table name. Table name, comma, selected columns. Whichever columns you required, you can take the column. You can take n number of columns. Okay. See here. What is that one? financial. Okay. Suppose I'm passing country column. What is this one? See here. Calculate sum of financial assets. Here, all except of, this is the syntax. Don't forget it. Table name must and should first you need to write, comma. What table name you are writing, that related table columns only you can write. Not only one, two column. You can write n number of columns in the table. I'm passing only single column as per my requirement. So now what is the meaning of this one? That means whichever column you mention for that particular column, if you filter in the visualization, value is changed. You understand or not what I am saying? Here, whichever column, what is the column I mentioned here? Country column. So if you try to filter country column in the visualization, value is changed. That means if you select France, France related, what is that one? Total sales it is showing. If you select Mexico, Mexico related total sales. If you select United States of America, United States of America total sales. Okay. If you select like Germany, Germany related total sales, it will shows. That means whichever column you mention in all except those column values are changed based on your filtering. Understand clearly? But very, very important, listen. Okay. What columns you mention, for those columns, if you try to filter in the visualization, value is changed. But other columns, that means except country column, remaining columns is there in financials, right? In financial table, the other columns are there or not? Except country column, other columns, if you try to filter, value cannot be changed. You understand the meaning of all except or not? Once again, I will explain to you. Listen. What columns you mention in all except those columns, what columns you mention in all except those columns, if you try to filter in the visualization, value is changed. Okay. Remaining columns in the table. That means what columns you mention, except those columns, remaining columns in the table, it is there or not. Those columns, if you try to filter it, value cannot be changed. Understand or not? I will show you practically. See here. Suppose. Understand clearly. See here. All except. When you when you use all except, see here, all except function I'm using. Okay. And I'm writing this one. Suppose what column I mentioned here? In all except what column I mentioned? Country column, right? So if you select any value in the country in the visualization, okay. If you filter any column, any value in the country, what will happen? Is this value changed or not changed? Changed, right? Did you see? France. Did you see? If you select Mexico, Mexico related total sales. If you select Germany, Germany related. That means here in all except what operation, what aggregation operation is performing, that related total sales only. That means if you select Germany, Germany related. If you select United States of America, United States of America total sales, it will shows. Understand? Suppose, for example, I'm not filtering country. Other columns are there in the financials table, right? So if I'm trying, so other column is product column is there, right? If I try to filter the product column, is this value changed or not changed? Not changed. See here, if you select Montana, did you see? Is this value changed? No. If you select here, did you see? It is fixed. Understand or not? That means in all except what columns you mention, those columns, if you try to filter in the visualization, value is changed. Other columns in the table, in the same table, other columns in the table, if you try to filter it, value cannot be changed. That is the one. Very, very, very important function. Next one. What is the next function? All, no blank row. All and all, no blank row, both are same. Here, blank values also consider. Here, except blank values, remaining one. That means non-blank values only, all function is applied. Understand or not? The meaning here it is, except blank values, the all function is applied. On non-blank values, all function is applied. That is the meaning here. What is the next one? All selected. All selected means, see here, they're all selected. See here. In all selected, either you can pass a table name or pass a column names also. See here. Either you can pass table name or column names. Okay. See here. In all selected, in all except what will happen, which columns you mention, on those columns filter is applied. Remaining column filter is not applied, right? But here it is quite here, all selected, what will, in both the cases filter will happen. Which columns you mention, those columns, if you try to filter it, it is applied the filter. That means value is changed. Other columns in the table also value is changed. Understand clearly? Understand clearly? With mention the column, without mentioning columns also filter is going to apply. Is that clear or not? See, I'm mentioning country column. Value is changed or not? See here. Suppose if an even if I'm selecting product values also, see here. Understand clearly. Understand clearly. Any doubts in this one? Is that clear or not? Okay. Next. See here. Earlier is not required. Okay. Okay. Next one is filter function. Very, very important. Filter function. What is filter function will do? Filter means, suppose, for example, if you want to filter the column values in SQL Server, where we are writing that filtering the column values in SQL Server, if you want to filter the column values, where we are writing this one? What is the meaning of filtering? Filtering means apply. Filtering means, what is that one? You're saying something. See, if you want to filter the column values in SQL Server, where we are writing, what is the meaning of filtering? Filtering means applying condition. Where we are applying conditions in SQL Server? In where class. In where class only we are applying a filter or condition. Filter is nothing but a condition. What filtering means? Filtering means if you want to see the specific column values, that is called filtering or condition. Understand or not? If you want to see the specific column values, then we can use filter. Okay. Filter or condition. Understand or not? Filter or condition. Both are same. Understand clear or not? Is that clear or not? That is the one. See here. Okay. Same thing. If you want to apply the same filter the column values or condition means inside filter function only we can apply. Okay. That means in SQL Server filtering the column values, what option we are using? Fil huh? Where class, right? The same where class in Power BI DAX function, it is acts like a filter function. Filter. Understand or not? How you are writing a conditions there? Same. If you want to write a multiple conditions in SQL Server, what we are using there? See, listen. If you want to write multiple conditions in where class in SQL Server, what operators we are writing there? And or operators. And or operators. And or operators. Okay. We are using and or. Same thing. In where class in SQL Server, how you are writing. Same thing in filter function you can write. Same as it, but names are changed. That's it. Understand? Let's see. Even this filter function also we can apply it in calculate function. Inside the calculate function only we can apply. Now see here. What is that one? Calculate. What is that one? Expression means? What is expression? Arey, yaar, don't forget it, yaar. You know so many examples we discuss it, and now you are forgetting again. Inside the calculate function, first what we need to write? Aggregation functions only, not sum. Aggregation functions like sum, min, max, average, count, any function you can use. It's not only sum, any aggregation. See, when you write a calculate function, first only in your mind aggregation function. That's it. Any type of aggregation, sum, min, max, average, count, anything you can, whatever you want, you can write that one. I'm using some related column. I'm right. If you write average, average, anything, any aggregation, comma. Now, what function? Inside this one, filter function. What is filter function will do? See here. In filter function, what is the first syntax? Huh? Table name. Very good. Here, comma. Filter expression. What is the meaning of filter expression? Means condition. In where class you are writing a condition, right? Here in where class in filter function, extra thing is table name, comma, write a condition. What is the condition formula? Not existing table name, column name. Existing column name, operator value, right? Okay. Existing column name, operator value. That is called condition formula. So you have to write a condition. Suppose, for example, country is equal to, what is that one? I'm writing static value, that is France. What is the meaning of this one? What is the meaning of this one? Do you know what is the meaning of this one? Tell me what is the meaning of this one? Huh? What is the meaning of this complete one? I'm asking. What is the meaning of complete? Total value for France country. Okay. The meaning here is first, what is the filter function will do? In filter function, country column having France related. Whatever values are there, that means whatever sales is there, that sales, what it will do here? It will calculate the total and it will give the result. Understand or not? In country column, France related, what are all the sales is there? Those all the sales, it will calculate the total and it will give the result. That is the meaning here. Understand clearly? What is that one? Yeah. See here, only France related. Vijay, suppose if you select a France also, that is showing. If you select in the visualization other than the France, if I'm selecting, what value it will choose here? You understand my question or not? In this filter function, you are passing static values France. So that's the reason France related total sales only by default it is shown. Suppose, for example, if you filter the country values here, suppose if it is France, the same value it will show. Other than the France, if you select any value, what this one it will shows? Blank. See here. What I am explaining? See here. What is that one? Which function? See here. In filter function, what will happen? Country is equal to France. Country is equal to France, whatever it is there, that total value it will choose here. But suppose, for example, in the visualization, if you try to filter the country values, except the France remaining values, if you try to filter it, this value, it will shows as blank. Suppose I'm selecting Canada. It shows blank. Why? Because here I'm passing only France related. So that's the reason when you select France only, that will, even if you're not selecting France also, it will consider France related and it will shows the total sales. Understand clearly? But if you select other than the France related in the visualization, this value must and should it will choose blank. Why? Because this is a static value. This is static value, which I don't want like this. Whatever user country value is selected in the visualization, based on that related total says automatically it will. If you are not happening like that, what will happen? Suppose user want Canada. Again, you need to come here and Canada here. Canada. Execute this. See here. Now Canada. Suppose user is asking Mexico. Now again you need to check it. This is, see, as the that means when the user is selected, do we know that what user is selected? So that's the reason at that point of time, these are static. Static related options are not used. Dynamically, you have to write. What is dynamic thing? What user is selected? I want to pick that country value. If user is selected is country, Canada, then I want to pick the Canada value and pass it in this filter, and that related sales only I want to generate it. If suppose user is selected Mexico, I want to pick that country value and that related filter it will happens. That Mexico related that will happens and total sales will be calculated and give the result automatically. If you want to do dynamic thing, you have to use one function. What is that function is all selected. Sorry, selected value. What is that one? Selected value. In the name itself, it is there. Selected value. In the inside the selected value, you just need to pass a column name. That's it. Only column, only one column you can. Now what will happen? Whenever, whichever column you are passed, if you try to filter that column values in the visualization, what value you are selected, that value it is picked. Selected value will function will pick what value is selected for that particular column. And now, in place of this one, that one you have to write that one. Okay, let's see how to write that one. What is that one? Again, see, I'm modifying the existing one only. Let's see. Okay, selected value. See here, what is the meaning of this one? What is the meaning of this one? That means if the whatever column we are passing, if that column you are filtering, what you are filtering, that value it will shows. Understand clearly? Now see here. What I am selecting here? Canada. Canada value it will shows. Did you see what value it is shows here? Because I'm selecting Canada here. If I'm selecting Germany, Germany. That means remember selected value very important function. Selected value function. Selected value function always what user is selected for that particular column, that value only it will shows. Now, see here, inside selected value, whichever column you are passing, if that column you are filtering in the visualization, what you are selected, that value only it will shows. Understand clearly? Now, in the same calculate function, in place of static, you can pass this particular one. Let's see how I'm passing this. Up to now, we didn't discuss variables, right? In DAX functions, we can write multiple variables. So what is the meaning of variables? Means inside the formula bar, you can write n number of DAX functions. When you are writing n number of DAX functions, those DAX function result, if you want to store, you have to use variables. What is a variable? Runtime execution is called as a variable. What is a variable? Runtime execution. That means at the time of running a report, whatever function is there, whatever function result is there, that it will store it in a variable. What is the meaning of variable? It will store the output of the function. It will store the output of the DAX function. It just hold the output of the DAX function. Understand? Because in a single formula bar, you are trying to write multiple functions. Okay. Whenever you want to write multiple functions, okay, you just need to store that particular function outputs in a variables. Wherever it is required, you can pass directly in place of function name, you can pass the variable. Understand or not? Suppose some function in a single formula bar, some function in 2-3 cases I'm using the same function, sum of financials. I'm using the same thing in different. Okay, in different cases, if you try to write the same function multiple times, it will impact for the performance. Why? Because same thing you are using multiple times. Instead of that one time you need to write that one and store it in a variable. That variable, wherever it is required, you can pass that one. Understand or not? Understand what is variable? Variable is holding the output of the function. Understand or not? So whenever you want to write multiple functions inside a single formula bar, try to use variables. Understand? It just holding the output of the function. That's it. No other options. You cannot do that one. Understand? Those variables, wherever is required, you can use that one. Let's see. So if you want to move the cursor inside the formula bar, if you want to move the cursor to the next line, then what is a shortcut? See here. If you want to move the cursor to the next line means you have to use a shortcut called Shift plus Enter. What is that? Shift plus Enter. See here. Cursor is moving to the next line or not? Shift plus Enter. Understand? See here. Here, how to write a variable. I want to store this particular function output inside a variable. Now, how to write a variable? Var. Syntax is first var space. What is that one? VAR space. After that, name of the variable. What is the variable name? Any name you can give. What is that name? Any name it is. Like at the time of variable name, right, with one character or two characters only, you can use that one. Variable name always with a single character or two character, not more than that. X, Y, Z, anything. You can write something like name related. See, when you want to use the same variable name in other ways, complete name it is right. We need to write it, right? So that's the reason variable name, as per my suggestion, with one or two characters only. Suppose I'm V1. Variable name is V1. You can write anything. Okay. And after writing a variable name, you have to write is equal to. After is equal to only you can write your function. Any function you can write. Understand? Now what will happen? Whatever output this function will return, that it will store inside V1. Understand? If you want to see the results of the variable means, you have to write return. What is that? Return. Return and variable name. What is that one? Variable name. What is the variable name here? V1. Return variable. When you use variables means inside the inside a written statement only, you can You can you can see the output of the variable. If you didn't write the return, it will throw an error. Understand clearly? Okay, for any variable, must and should you have to write return statement inside the return only. How many variables we can pass inside the return statement? Only one variable once at a time. Suppose inside the formula bar, you are writing multiple variables. Inside multiple variables, you are storing multiple functions. But in return statement, only one variable once at a time you cannot write like a v1 comma some other variable name. First variable name comma other another variable name we cannot write like that. In return, only one variable. Either v1 you can write it or you can write any other variable name you can write that one. Understand clearly? Now see here. If you execute this one, see here. Same thing or not? If you select Mexico, Mexico it is showing. Understand? First, what is this selected value function will do? What user is selected in the visualization, that it will pick. That it is stored in V1. That V1 value, whatever it is there, that only it will return here. Understand or not? Now, I'm writing another variable. Can we write multiple variables or not? Yes. Another shift plus enter. I'm moving to the another cursor. Now, again, if you want to write a variable, what is the syntax? var space. After that, variable name, anything. Not only v2. Can't we write x? X is equal to. Now, I'm writing this one. Calculate sum of financial sales, comma, filter financials is equal to. Now, previously, when I write this particular one, you are passing country column is equal to some static value. First, listen, because with this one, there are so many real-time scenarios are there. Very, very important thing here it is. Okay. In filter function, see here, while at the time of filtering, same function, here country column is equal to static value we are passing, right? Okay. Now, because there is a problem with that was static one. If the user is selected a different one, we are facing a problem, right? That's the reason dynamically. For dynamic, what is the function we have to use? Selected value. Selected value, whatever user is selected, that value, it will pick it up. Okay. Now, here, what I am writing here? Can anyone tell me? Here, what I am writing here is equal to country is equal to what value I'm writing here? Whatever user is selected, that value I'm writing. Where that value is stored? Whatever user is selected value, that it is stored in which variable? In V1 it is stored or not? If the country value user is selected France or Mexico or anything, that it is stored in V1. Now I'm passing in place of static value, I'm passing V1 here. Now, what will happen? If user is selected France, then France value it is stored in V1. Now, the same France value in V1 it is there, right? That it is passing here. And check that particular France related total sales, it will get it. And that it is stored in X. Again, in return, I'm writing X here. Because the final result is in X row only, right? That's the reason. Understand? Suppose, for example, now you execute this one. See here. If I'm selecting Mexico, Mexico related total sales only mean. If suppose user is selected United States of America total sales, that means what user is selected, that value automatically it will pick it and it give that related total sales. You understand the complete this scenario or no? Very, very important. Understand this one. See here. Selected value function is for using to pick what user is selected. That it is stored in V1. And that V1 where I required, suppose I want to filter the what user is selected. So that's the reason simply I'm passing V1 here. In place of static, I'm passing dynamic value V1. Now what will happen? What user is selected? That related total sales only it is written and it is stored in X. In return, what variable I'm passing here? X. X related. Vijay, can I pass like V1? Any variable you can pass it in return statement. But one variable only we can pass it. Any variable. Like suppose if I want to see in V1 what it is stored. I want to know. Then you have to pass in return statement V1. If suppose in return statement, another variable you are writing that value in that particular variable, what value is that? That means in return statement, how many variables you are using inside the formula bar. Okay. You can write any variable because sometimes when you are writing a DAX function, what result is getting? I want to know. So at that point of time in return statement, you can write any variable. That variable result, whatever it is there, what variable you are writing, in that variable, what value is there, that only it will return. It's not compulsory to pass X only. You can pass V1, you can pass X, you can pass Y, you can pass Z. That means what variables you are using here, that any one variable you can write. Because I want to see the result of inside that variable, what it is there. Understand clearly, Anna? Now here, I'm passing X here. See here, understand clearly, Anna? Suppose, for example, if I'm passing France, right? I'm selecting Germany. Understand clearly or not? Did you see how I'm writing this one? Anyone having any doubts in this one? Very, 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 very important scenario. This is the one. Just sometimes, just change the column names in place of this one. If any user is selected, that related total sales, what user is selected, that related average sales, total sales, minimum sales, maximum sales, count, number of records, then must ensure you have to use this scenario only. Based on the user selection in the visual, okay, I want to do any calculations, any aggregation calculations, then this is the scenario. Don't forget this scenario. Understand clearly or not? Huh? Is that clear or not? I told you before this one. I told you before this one already. Before raising this question, I raised this question and I gave the answer also. In return statement, how many variables we can write? Only one. We cannot write more than one variable, like with by putting commas there. I told you the same thing. Again, you are raising means you are not listening at that point. Just now only I explained. Y- Your mind is completely on the phone itself. Next time, if I'm seeing that one, I will throw this mobile outside. Don't come, yeah. How you will continue online? Continue that one. But when you come to the offline, complete concentration here. That's the reason you are missing. If you are doing other activities, if you are concentrating and listening all the thing, that is fine. Your concentration is completely on the mobile. That's the reason you are raising this question. Next one. What is the next function? First function. See, in filter function, few functions we cannot apply it in new measure, new column, new table. These functions, few functions like filter, index, last, first, last. Okay, some functions are there like first, last. Okay, few more functions are there. I will tell you. Okay, those functions we cannot apply it in like a new measure, new column, new table. But Vijay, where these functions are applied? These functions are applied in a visual calculation options. In visual calculation options. Where visual calculation? In the starting class itself, you are enabling three settings option, right? In that, did you enable the visual calculation? So not that related option. Okay. So in that option only this function. That is the first function is filled. First. This first up to here, all you can apply it either in new measure or new column or new table. That is fine. But here, few function we can apply it on visual calculations. Visual calculation option. Where is that one? See. So for that, if you want to apply the function in visual calculations, means that visual calculation option, you have to enable that particular one. Where that option? Here that is. In home tab, it is there. If anyone having this option is not enabled means under the settings, you have to enable it. In the starting class, I explained you clearly how to enable that one. Under file, options and settings, options, under preview features. If you scroll down, did you see? Did this option is checked and click on OK and restart your Power BI file, then you can see the changes into that particular one. Understand clearly? No? Then this option, because those options we can apply it only in the new visual calculation. What this option will do means directly this option will help you to apply inside a visualization. Inside the visualization, you can directly apply this one. In which visualization? Only in matrix visual only, these all the functions are going to apply it. In matrix visual, okay, under the matrix visual, the visual, new visual calculation, you can apply it. Whatever functions you can apply it in new visual calculation, that cannot reuse it for other visuals. Suppose in one matrix visual, you are applying new visual, one of the function. The same function you cannot use the same function in other visualization. But new measure, new column, new table. These three are reusable options. That means these three options in any visualization, you can use that one. Suppose inside some function, inside a new measure, I'm applying sum of totals. This sum of total sales measure, you can use it in card, you can use it in table, you can use it in any other visuals, any visual. These three, new measure, new column, new table, always these three options can use it in any visual because these three options are reusable. But whatever DAX functions you can apply it in new visual calculation, that is not a reusable one. In which visualization you are using, that is applicable to that particular visual. If you want to use that same thing means in another visual, you can apply the same function, same. There is no other alternative. Okay. So because what one advantage in new visual calculation is whatever functions you applied in new visual calculation doesn't occupies the memory. Performance wise, it is good. Understand? Okay. Understand clearly. But there is no reusability option for new visual. Let's see how to implement this. I'm taking a matrix visual. See here. Suppose I'm designing like this. Like see here, I'm taking in a matrix visual. Don't worry in the visualization. I will tell you complete matrix visual how it looks. See here, yeah, I'm taking country as well as year. Here total sum of profit, sum of sales, like that it will shows. Now I'm applying. See here, after after designing the matrix visual, did you see this new visual calculation option is enabled? By default, it is disabled. Understand? Now I want to apply. Suppose what is the function? First function. What is first DAX function will do means here, see here, how I'm applying is, see here, in the matrix visual, on the right side corner, you will see three dot that we can call it as ellipse. Understand or not? Okay. So when you click on ellipse, okay, see here, new visual calculation. Understand or not? You will see an option called custom. These are all the options is there. Better to use always, you have to use custom. You know how to apply the function. Okay. So that's the reason. See here. Here you can give same name, any name. Suppose, for example, first I'm giving a name as first, and after is equal to first function. What is that one? See here. Here you can pass, what is that one? Expression. Expression, you know, right? Multiple columns, not, no. Multiple columns between that mathematical operator, or else single column also. That column, how you can pass it? Don't pass the column name inside the data table. Table related columns you cannot pass. Here in this matrix visual, what columns are there? Those only, those names only you can give. Suppose, for example, sum of profit is the column name, right? That is the column you can pass. See here, sum of profit, comma, rows, comma, lowest. Okay. I will tell you, don't worry. See here. First, in first function, in this matrix visual, okay. So any numeric type of column or a decimal type of column only can pass. In that one, in the numeric or decimal type of column, each and every record, that means Canada, this is the one, right? Canada, right? Canada, this is the one. For this particular Canada, what is the first value is there in sum of profit? What is that one? 8036. Because under the Canada, there are two different years are there. In 2013, one profit is there. In 2014, another profit is there. In that one, Canada, what is the first year? What is the first sum of profit value? That it will show here. What is that one? 80367.78. Did you see? That one only it will show. Here in this France related, what is the first value? Understand clearly? Only first value it will consider, and first value only it will show each and every row. Understand clearly? Now, same thing, same. Did you see? Suppose after applying that, I want to modify on this particular function. If you want to modify the DAX function, means in new measure or new column or new table, in the under that one, whichever it is there, you can directly click on that one and you will see inside the formula bar, you can change it. But whatever functions you applied in new visual calculation, if you want to modify those functions, means you in the matrix table, wherever scroll down, somewhere that particular first function is applied in that matrix visual, not in the table this function, because this is not reusable, right? That's the reason here in this one, where that function in which visual it is applied, in that particular visual only it is there. So at that point of time, there is a pencil icon is there. By clicking on the pencil icon, again this particular code is enabled and you can modify whatever is required. Okay, here rows, row wise only we are calculating, right? That's the reason rows. Lowest parent that means which is the least value that it will show. So understand clearly? Is that clear or not? This is the first one. You understand or not? Okay. Okay. So remaining function that we can discuss in tomorrow's class. Understand clearly or not? In tomorrow's class, need to discuss the remaining function. Understand clearly or not? Any doubts in this one? Most probably tomorrow I will try to complete all the DAX functions, even time intelligent functions also. Understand or not? Okay. So what is the next category once the DAX function? Real-time scenarios discussion. Understand? So we can stop it here and we'll continue tomorrow. Understand clearly or not? Anyone having any doubts or anything is there? So on Wednesday, New Power BI batch is started with data analytics. With data analytics, new Power BI batch is started. Okay. If any of your friends are interested, please suggest those people. Okay. With data analytics, that means Excel, Power BI, SQL Server. All the three things are covered. In the workshop, I'm giving only just what is Excel and everything. But in the regular class, 15 classes will be there for 10 to 15 classes will be there for Excel related. Each and every point I will explain you. If you see the Excel, no need to prepare Power BI. If you know already Power BI, no need to prepare Excel because similar type of things will be there. Okay. Because but both two different environments, that's it. Understand clearly enough. So we can stop it here and we'll continue tomorrow. Okay. Bye guys.